We've brought someone on board recently and I'd like to introduce him to everyone. Welcome, James.
Hi guys. So I'm an osteopath. I work down in Geelong and in Ocean Grove. We work with the body's kind of own innate healing process, but basically provide an environment where the body can heal itself. Osteopaths, what we pride ourselves on is treating the body as a whole. So if you came in with a back pain, for example, we wouldn't just look at the back itself. We would look at hips, knees and ankles and see how the mechanics work as a functional whole.
If people were, let's say they didn't have some type of part that was bothering them, but they were just wanting to improve their overall health, would that still be appropriate for them to see an osteo?
Yeah, we do see people for a variety of issues. I think what's key in the landscape now in the allied health profession is preventative healthcare. And so we're finding people are seeking kind of our services a little bit more before something goes wrong, as more of a preventative way to look at things down the track, rather than, I guess, coming in when they can't walk or when they're in significant pain. They tend to get on top of niggles before they become an issue.
Do you agree with that saying about prevention is better than cure?
Absolutely. And so we not only encourage our patients to kind of look after the mechanical and physical stuff within their body, but we also advocate and provide advice on various nutrition and exercise, as well as promote mental health as well.
Great. What would be some of the main things that you're most passionate about?
I think health overall for me is something that I'm really passionate about, and I think that takes various forms. At the moment, I'm really interested in movement. I've been doing a lot of work looking into anthropology and how we've moved and developed as a species. And I find that really interesting, and how we can, incorporate, I guess, how the body was designed to move in a functional way, and how we can incorporate that into everyday life.
Let's try to clear a few things up about that then. How bad is sitting down all day?
I mean, there's parallels with, sitting is the new smoking, all that kind of thing. But I guess the problem is not so much the sitting in that it's a position that we need to assume. The period of time, it's the length of time that we're sitting in that tends to be a problem. The tissues adapt to that new tension that you put them on, as in that your hips are bent up in that position, so the muscles at the front are all shortened, and the muscles at the back tend to become a little bit weaker in that position. And so then when we go to do other activities like walking or running or moving those tissues in a position that they're not used to being in, then that is where injury can occur.
Should everyone go out and get a standing desk if they can, or make their bosses pay for it?
Well, no, we wouldn't go that far. That's a great, I've got a great example of a patient of mine that I was seeing for back pain, and he used to sit at his desk for 8 hours a day. And he came back in 1 week and I said, "How's your back going?" And he said, "Oh, look, my back's great. I've been down the whole process of, getting a standing desk, and, the bosses have been really on board with that. But and my back is fantastic, but my legs are killing me." And I guess that goes to show that it's not the said position that's the issue. It's really the amount of time that we're spending in those positions that can become problematic.
Is there a certain amount of exercise that people should be doing each day, or like a frequency that they should be moving at?
I think what's important, I mean, if you look at the guidelines, it is kind of between 30 minutes and an hour, 3 to 5 days a week. But I guess what I try and advocate to people is that I just want people to move often and in lots of different ways. And so that includes, periods where you're getting your heart rate elevated a little bit more. It includes element of strength or resistance training, and it incorporates an element of more kind of endurance or aerobic type training as well.
It's all important?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the diversity is what's really key, and moving joints in lots of different planes too.
And do you have any thoughts on, I've heard sometimes shoes are really bad for our posture and they can put things out of place or lead to a lot of problems. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm a very much an advocate of bare feet. And that's not something that I have done, again, from the start. I've spent my whole childhood majority of my childhood in shoes. And so the thing that happens with shoes is that we no longer need the natural art support that our feet provide us with, and the muscle tissue and the connective tissue that's under there, because it's not needed with the arch support of the shoe. And so then when you go out of a shoe, for example, or it's hot and you're wearing thongs, or you're walking along bare feet, you're asking that connective tissue and those muscles in the foot which haven't been used to handle quite a significant load.
All right. And for people that deliberately better, if they could do 3 things to improve their health, what do you think would make the biggest difference?
I think sleep is really fundamentally important, because it's where we do most of our recovery and repair, as you'll know. If you lump that in with exercise and movement, which also helps us to feel tired throughout the day, I think if you fuel your body as well with the right stuff, that's probably the 3 things that I'd look at. Fairly basic and boring, I guess, but really fundamental pillars of our health.
Okay, so the 3 pillars: sleep, movement, and diet?
Yeah.
No, perfect. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks, Dean. Bye.